scrapbook? It's filled with my adventures. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a mighty pirate. That's me, Guybrush Threepwood. That's me, Guybrush Threepwood. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a mighty pirate. In the old days, you became a pirate by completing 3 trials to prove your worth. Treasure hunting is important for any pirate. The pirate leaders were in charge of the 3 trials, acting as judge, jury, executioner, and devoted grog tasters. In the old days, you became a pirate by completing 3 trials to prove your worth. The test of thievery involved breaking into the governor's mansion. The security was heavy. Mastering sword fighting was more a matter of wits than agility. This is when I met Elaine, the love of my life. She was governor at the time. Things took an unexpected turn while I was working on the 3 trials. Elaine was kidnapped and taken to Monkey Island by the nefarious ghost pirate LeChuck. I scraped together a crew. Carla, Otis, and Meathook joined me on my voyage to Monkey Island to save Elaine. LeChuck thought he was in love with Elaine. My first ship was the Sea Monkey. I bought it at Stan's used ships with a letter of credit that I, sort of falsified. Monkey Island was a steaming volcanic mystery, covered with jungle and not found on any map. You had to brew a special potion just to find Monkey Island. I made some substitutions, but it got us there just the same. On the island was a gigantic monkey head statue with hidden catacombs underneath. The monkey head opened with a special key that you stuck in its ear. There were some people living there who claimed to be cannibals, but I think it was just a show for the tourists. LeChuck's ghostly ship was anchored in a lake of lava hidden beneath the island's surface. I met an old castaway there, Herman Toothrot. He and the locals wrote a lot of indignant letters to each other. We wound up back on Melee Island for the stunning conclusion to my first big adventure. I made it to the church just in time to stop the wedding. Or so I thought. It turned out Elaine already had everything under control. How does she do that? By then, I had learned that ghosts like LeChuck are vulnerable to root beer. Just trust me, it works, okay? I defeated LeChuck, and he basically exploded. It was the beginning of something magical. These are from the time I went to find the treasure of Big Whoop. I met my good friend Wally, who makes maps, and I stole his monocle. The map to the treasure had been torn into 4 pieces, which, let's face it, is about as piratey as it gets. Elaine always seems to know when I need her. The mysterious voodoo lady at the International House of Mojo taught me to make a voodoo doll, which came in handy more than once. Again, it came down to just me and LeChuck at the end. He was using magic, but then, so was I. One time, the fact that he turned her into a statue tells me LeChuck doesn't really love Elaine. He thinks of her as furniture. I got eaten by a snake. I got buried alive. It was around this time that I met Murray, the allegedly all-powerful demonic skull, after a rousing sea battle. I erupted a volcano on purpose. Things backfired on LeChuck, because Elaine and I got married when it was all over. Game, set, matchmaker. One time, Elaine got turned into a statue. Well, LeChuck was behind it, of course. That guy never gives up. This was a great day. Though in retrospect, we shouldn't have had the scum bar handle the catering. This is the daisy we stomped on together. Wedding traditions are weird. It's either Elaine's wedding veil or my handkerchief. We got them to match. Elaine and me together forever. The daggers are symbolic of cutting through troubles, I think. I wrote a great haiku for the wedding invitation. I don't know why you have to have candy-coated almonds at a wedding, but apparently you do. Oh man, this was that crazy time LeChuck teamed up with an Australian billionaire and tried to use a mystical talisman to make Elaine his bride. The ultimate insult wasn't really ultimate, or even an insult at all. Or was it? LeChuck and I battled it out on a grand scale that time. Everything started because they thought Elaine was dead, so they held an election to replace her. I made a goofy monster out of prosthetic body parts. It didn't help with anything, but I had fun doing it. Then there was the time I accidentally let loose LeChuck's pox over the entire Caribbean. Or so it seemed. I had to wear a hook for a while. It came in handy. Elaine wasn't fooled by LeChuck's human form any more than I was. I should have trusted her more. Morgan Le Fay betrayed me, even after we bonded inside a giant manatee. I should have trusted her less. The death card doesn't usually represent literal physical death, except when it does. I went on trial for my life on 4 separate charges. I defended myself, of course. Oh, here's that voodoo doll from the end of my Big Whoop adventure. I defeated LeChuck with this. His leg came off as easy as tearing a loaf of bread.
Guybrush, come over here, gently now. Remove my mask.
Will you promise to stop picking on me?
All right, I promise. Anything. Just put my leg back on.
Hey, you kids. You're not supposed to be in here.
What's next?
Let's goof on those two. Pretend they're our parents.
Yeah! Sorry we ran off. You were probably worried about murderers and ne'er-do-wells.
Don't worry, I found him.
Come on, let's go.
Let's pretend I have powers that make lightning come out of my eyes.
It's so lifelike.
I wonder if it's real. Sorry, boys, could you stop following us? It's creepy.
Yes,
sir. Come on. I saw a scurvy dog shack back there.
Scurvy dogs. I've never had one of those.
No way. You have to try one. It's the best thing you'll ever eat in your life. No fooling.
Wow. What should we do next?
We gotta get to scurvy dogs. I can't believe you never had one.
Looks like they need a swabby in here. I'll never be the ship's swabby. That is really, really low. They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it. I'll bring this right back, sir.
You'd be wise to do that. I got the leg from the last kid who didn't bring back the key.
That's where the outhouse key was. It says, return outhouse key when finished, or else.
I once got a scurvy dog that was bigger than my head.
How much is a mug of grog?
Grog's for grown-ups. Beat it.
Can we get a mug of grog, please?
I told you, grog's only for grown-ups. Stop wasting my time.
Some places you go have
How much are the scurvy dogs?
Scurvy dogs are only a half piece of 8.
Can we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Sure. If you give me a piece of 8, that's money that grown-ups use.
I know what a piece of 8 is.
Good for you. You can have a couple of dogs if you give me one.
Please? Can't you spare something for a couple of hungry kids?
Listen up, you little moocher. Let me tell you something. I don't like kids. I'm an honest businessman trying to make an honest living. I don't need 50 kids a day coming in and wasting my time trying to get me to give them free food.
I guess never mind.
Hey, I know. Let's look for change in the outhouse across the way. Coins fall out of people's pockets when they sit down in there.
Those glasses are thicker than the layer of grease on the floor.
You kids better have money.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of money. Never mind. What should we do next?
Let's look for change in the outhouse. Maybe we can find enough to get scurvy dogs.
The words don't look like words, but there's a picture of a scurvy dog.
I once had the hiccups for 4 days straight.
It's locked. Good thing I've got the key in my pocket.
Good, you unlocked it.
I don't see any coins, and I'm not putting my hands in that. Gross. It isn't a piece of 8, but it's a round piece of metal about the same size and shape as a piece of 8.
That's called a slug. It's like a fake coin.
A fake coin is almost as good as a real coin. Gross. Chucky, why don't you look in the toilet?
No way. You do it.
Okay. Ugh. Gross. I'm not sure how we can get scurvy dogs without any pieces of 8.
We might have all we need. I don't think that guy can see very well.
Ugh. What is this stuff? It smells the same as the toilet. Please wash hands before leaving outhouse. sure how we can get scurvy dogs without any pieces of 8.
We might have all we need. I don't think that guy can see very well.
Can we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Sure, if you give me a piece of 8.
What can we get with this?
Tastes like a piece of 8. Enough for a couple of scurvy dogs if you want.
Perfect!
Take 'em, boy.
What are you getting?
What?
Just kidding. Here's yours. I'm having these for breakfast, lunch, and dinner forever. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do? I wonder where those 2 people we were following went. I wonder where those 2 people we were following went.
Exhibit removed. Aww. Let's not go back there again. We'll just get yelled at.
That's my friend Dee. Hey, Dee.
Hey, Chucky, what are you jerk faces up to?
We just got here.
I'm making a list of stuff to do.
Give me that. I'm an expert planner. There. Perfect. See you around the park, shitheads.
Cool anchor.
That just shows how little you know about anchors. This one's not a very good example. You'd know that if you read as much about anchors as I have. Did you know that anchors originally weren't designed to hold ships in place? They were used in combat, shot from cannons as a grapple when you were trying to board another ship. They started making them bigger and bigger because they would do more damage that way. Then, people noticed what happened when you missed the other ship and hit the sea bottom instead. The current bow-shaped design is actually less effective than the sharper V-shaped design that was popular last century. But the older design went out of fashion after sailors started to think the letter V was bad luck. You can still find the old kind around sometimes, but collectors have grabbed most of them. On a modern anchor, if you look close, you can tell that one side is a little larger than the other. That's to prevent what's called plummeting, where the anchor goes down too evenly and then it doesn't catch well on the bottom. The little flanges at the tips are at different angles to make it twist on the way down for the same reason. Most anchors these days are made of iron, and you have to recast them like twice a year because they rust. About 30 years ago, somebody thought of a way to get around that by making them out of wood instead. All kinds of people invested a lot of money in these wooden anchor companies. But the only way they could keep them from floating was to attach another anchor. And so they gave up and went back to the old way. The word anchor comes from the Sanskrit word nagara, meaning city. They're called that because when you stop in the middle of the ocean, it's like you've made port at an invisible city. Yeah, I'm kind of an expert on anchors. I read a lot.
Chucky, want a race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go! Chucky wins! Woohoo!
Yeah!
Darn.
I wonder where this path goes. Did you know you can keep a scurvy dog warm by sticking it in your armpit?
That's a cool anchor.
That just shows how little you know about. Did you know that they were used to, they started making, then keep it current, but you can still on a modern anchor. That's to prevent with a little flange. Most anchor about 30 years, all kinds of, but the only with the word anchor, they're called that. Yeah,
You up for another race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go! Chucky wins! Woohoo!
Yeah!
Shoot. You up for another race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2.
Hey, cheater!
You have to wait until I say go.
You up for another race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go! Chucky wins! Woohoo!
Yeah!
Shoot. You up for another race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go!
I win!
Hey, hands off!
In France,
That's our bread!
Excuse me,
Yes?
could we have some of your bread to feed the duck?
I don't think so. We brought it for ourselves.
Excuse me,
Yes?
never mind. I wonder what's in that basket.
let's find out.
What do you think you're doing? Kids these days. No regard for personal property.
And no respect for your elders.
I have half a mind to give you a piece of.
Gotta run!
How rude.
I can stand on my head without using my hands.
It looks full.
I once ate 2 scurvy dogs at the.
What's this red glob on the ground?
That's ketchup. It's supposed to be really good with scurvy dogs. You should put that on your scurvy dog. I have an extra tooth in the back. I can feel it with my tongue. Did you know your feet won't smell if you don't wash them?
Do you want a sword fight with me?
You don't look very challenging.
So, want a sword fight with me?
You don't look very challenged.
At home, I wonder where this path goes. Let's be frank. You can never hope to beat me.
No way! You'll never catch up to my level!
I win.
I win!
Nuh-uh.
You guys are both pretty weak.
Well, anyway, that was fun.
Your sword is as sharp as a banana.
I'll still tear you down to size.
I for sure won that one.
In your dreams!
You fight like kids.
I haven't.
Do not pick the four-leaf clovers. As if! I found one!
Awesome.
There was still one left. Darn.
I should throw my coin in and make a wish. I should throw my coin in and make a wish. I wish for another scurvy dog.
Those things are bad for you. Told you so.
This place is fun. I once saved 2 scurvy dogs.
Hey, Dad.
Hello, Mr. Threepwood.
Hey, kids. Having fun?
Yeah.
We got scurvy dogs.
Those have toenails and stuff in them. Ugh, I read about it.
And we were playing your adventures. We just did Big Whoop.
Big whoop. Oh, boy. That takes me back.
I like it when Chucky asked me to put his leg back on. He says it really funny.
You guys always make up the craziest stuff for the ending of that story.
It's fun.
But you can't just change it around. That's not how storytelling works.
A lot of your stories don't feel like they're finished at the end.
What do you mean?
Well, like, there's this one that you call The Secret of Monkey Island, where you went to Monkey Island and fought LeChuck.
Oh, that story has a great ending. There's punching and fireworks. I thought you liked that one.
But you never did find the secret. Not the real one.
Sure, but that's not what that story was about. Kids, let me tell you a story that is about finding the secret of Monkey Island.
Is this a long story?
I think maybe I gotta go use the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I have to go walk my tarantula.
Maybe I should go with them.
No, stick around. This is a good one. See, there was a rumor going around that my old nemesis, LeChuck, had somehow discovered the exact location of the secret of Monkey Island. I knew I had to get it before he did, so I went to Melee to get my own expedition started and beat him to the punch. Feels good to be back on Melee Island, the hub of pirating in the Caribbean, where every good expedition begins. I'll see some old pals and get things rolling. Or sailing in this case. Hi, I'm Guyver Threepwood. Remember me?
Haven't seen you in a while, Threepwood. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know, freebooting mostly, swashing buckles and so on. But now I'm getting an expedition together to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, you're sailing with LeChuck.
What? LeChuck's here in Melee? Is there widespread panic? Are people evacuating?
He doesn't seem interested in carnage at the moment. Ship's just here taking on supplies and crew, as far as I can tell.
Well, anyway, no, I'm not sailing with LeChuck. You know my history with him. I'm mounting my own voyage. Mine.
Well, you'd better get cracking then. LeChuck's loading up on the outer dock as we speak.
Well, I'm gonna hire a ship and a crew and beat him to the punch. Just as soon as I can get someone to back the venture. I'm a little short on funds at the moment.
In that case, you'll want to go talk to the pirate leaders at the Scum Bar.
Exactly. That's why I came to Melee. It'll be great to see those old guys again. We'll knock back a grog and hash out the details.
Scum Bar, by the docks. Long table in the back.
I know where I'm going.
We'll see.